I was only the child of luck for a minute. When heaven summoned me, he told me that a minor villain, with the system's help, had inherited everything of mine. Not only stealing my opportunities and taking my women, but eventually I'd even lose my life, just as I lost all hope. He asked me to be his disciple and gave me a cheat to control heavenly tribulations. He told me to find that villain later and strike him dead. I was overjoyed to hear this and immediately performed the ritual. Then, through Yan Ranran's explanation, I learned the original script. He originally arranged the classic broken engagement trope for me. Tomorrow, my fiancé will come to break it off, and I was supposed to shout that famous line. The tables will turn one day. Don't look down on the poor. Then I'd divorce her on the spot, make a 3-year pact, and start my rise to power. But my fiancé had already been won over by the villain using my lines, blocking my path. From now on, my every move would be monitored by the villain's system. That's enough.
Take this fire Kieran with you, kid.
Master will find you in a few days. Then we'll take down that villain together. As Yan Ranran's voice faded in my mind, a sleek, shiny red dog appeared in the room. I realized this wasn't a dream. Before I could process this, my dad, Chan Junruo, burst through the door in a total rage. Yesterday afternoon, did you use your fiancée as a bet and lose her to someone else? Hearing the words fiancé and bet, I suddenly shuddered, seeing my dazed look. Dad couldn't help but smack me on the head. Ow, Dad. I snapped back to reality. With a dark expression, Dad said, your fiancé is here with the Zhuangshen sect to break the engagement. This is all your fault. So you must handle this yourself. He looked helpless. It did sound ridiculous, betting your fiancé and losing her. Anyone would think it's my fault. But I knew exactly what was going on. I looked straight at my dad. Dad, you don't need to step in. I'll handle this myself. Dad looked me up and down. You'll handle it? With what? I dressed as I replied. I'm the young master of the Chun family. I can handle a fallen house like theirs. You don't really think I would actually bet my own fiancé, do you? I might be a playboy, but I'm not an idiot. I figured out the plot last night. This was a trap set by the villain's system to make today's breakup legitimate, making Liu Ryan the victim, while suppressing me and stealing my luck. The current Liu Ryan was already the villain's puppet. Seeing the confidence in my eyes, Dad instinctively nodded. We soon reached the reception hall. The atmosphere was suffocating. The Chan family elders looked very grim. Opposite Liu Ryan and her father Liu Yuanzhen sat a woman in a black dress, an outer elder of the Zhuangshan sect, leading the sleek red dog. Chan Dakyang walked slowly into the hall. As soon as I entered, a heavy pressure crushed down on me, followed by a roar. Kneel, you brat! Dakyang snorted softly beside me, his eyes full of disdain. The next second, the pressure vanished like a breeze. Elder Chun Wenyuan turned pale. His chair shattered instantly, and he fell to the floor in a mess. Holding the dog, I glanced at him and said coldly, Fourth elder, watch your status. You are an elder of the Chan family, not a dog for the Zhuangshan sect. Dakyang even raised his chin, making his point clear. I'm the only dog here. Wenyuan looked terrified.
He struggled to get up,
but felt like a mountain was on him. Unable to move, the other Chun leaders watched coldly. No one helped. They all knew that Wenyuan sucked up to Xuanxian's sect just to move against me. He got what he deserved. They assumed a Chun family master had stepped in. Wenyuan had no choice but to look at Zhe Yangsha, the Zhuangchun elder. In the Great Yu dynasty, sects like Zhuangshan rank higher than the 8 great families. Zhe Yangsha looked down at me with pure arrogance, quite the Chun family air. Such arrogance, such hostility. I glanced at her. You're not bad either. You're uniquely ugly. Zhe Yangsha's eyes widened, flashing with killing intent. But Liu Ryan spoke up. Elder Zhe, let me talk to him. She stood up and looked me in the eye. Her voice was mournful, filled with hurt and resentment. Chang Zhao, how could you bet me? And lose? Don't I have any dignity? The Chan elders sighed in the hall. Liu Yuanzhen glared at me. This scandal had spread everywhere. Everyone thought I gambled with the city lord's son, lost 18 rounds in a row, and bet our marriage contract before losing it all.
Luckily,
The city lord's house didn't actually want me, so they returned the contract last night. Liu Ryan was the city's top beauty. She reached foundation building at 17 and joined the Zhuanshen sect. Zhe Yangsha was here to take her back, but everyone forgot that she only had this success because of the Chun family's resources. My family even gave her the foundation pill. The failing Liu family relied on us to become a top-tier family. We even pulled strings for her to join the sect. I found a seat and sat down, leaning back. So you want to break the engagement? Liu Ryan sneered. Break it. The shame you caused me can't be washed away that easily. She took a scroll from her ring and threw it at my feet. Sign this contract. From now on, we have nothing to do with each other. The Chun elders scanned it with their senses. Their faces turned livid. This wasn't a breakup letter. It was a demand for massive compensation. It totaled over 1 million high-grade spirit stones. That is no small amount. Their sympathy for her vanished instantly. Liu Ryan, don't go too far. One elder barked. Zhe Yangsha sneered. Too far? Who was the one who went too far? Just some spoiled brat from the Shan family. And you dare insult a Zhuanshan sect disciple. As soon as the words fell, the pressure of a spirit realm cultivator flooded the whole parlor. Everyone from the Shan family turned red in the face. No one could say a word. Zhe Yangsha doesn't just represent himself. He stands for the whole Zhuanshan sect. With him backing, Liu Ryan walked right up to me, looking down at me. Couldn't hide the mockery and pride in her eyes. Young Master Chun, could it be? You're gonna break off our engagement right here and now, and dump your fiancé who you just humiliated? Or are you about to yell out that old saying, 30 years east of the river, 30 years west? Don't look down on the poor when they're young. Or do you really think being poor makes you right? So just 'cause you're broke you get to use me as a bet? And shame me however you want. Every word he says makes the Chun family look worse. After all, from an outsider's view, I really am in the wrong here. Liu Ryan doesn't let me speak up. Keeps on and says, or maybe you want to set a 3-year promise with me? I'll give you 3 years, so you can properly cultivate. And challenge me to a death match at Zhuanshan sect in 3 years. She's basically rubbing my face in the dirt, embarrassing me in all of Juyu. Everyone knows the Chun family young master hates cultivation. Key refining. Even reaching stage 3 was only thanks to my dad's piled up pills. Forget about 3 years. Even 30 wouldn't close the gap. I sat in the chair, slowly took off my shoe and stood up. No need for 3 years. Let's do it now. With a loud smack, my shoe flew through the air and landed hard on Liu Ryan's face. She spun in midair, then crashed down hard. I took a heavy step, stepped right on her face. I, Chan Zhao, can accept a wife's death, but not calling off a marriage. Bastard, he Yangsha roared in fury.
he was just about to get up.
When a searing force came crushing down, a huge crimson foot stomped from the sky and slammed down on him. His fat body was flattened to the ground. Divine manifestation realm, peak. He Yangsha's face went pale. Just as his true energy started to flow, it was shattered by pure force. He shouted, I'm an outer elder of Shuanshins. Aren't you afraid of revenge, Chang Jiadong? A buzzing voice rang out. Zhuanshan steps on their own too. Everyone was stunned by the turn of events. Not just by the sudden powerhouse's arrival, but that even Liu Ryan, a real foundation stage cultivator, was slapped down by my shoe. Didn't even get a chance to fight back. And my spiritual power fluctuated, obviously at foundation stage. Nobody knew when I broke through. Liu Ryan, pinned under my foot, still tried to threaten me. Chan Zhao, I'm an inner disciple of Zhuanshan sect. How dare you harm us? But when she saw Zhe Yangsha being stepped on too, she went silent immediately. I glanced at the stunned, shivering Liu Yuansen, bent down and said to Liu Ryan, looks like our proud young lady still doesn't get it. You, Liu Ryan, are just a toy the Chun family found for me, without the Chun family's money. What are you really worth? Turning you into a bet. This is all you're good for. I'm walking the villain's path, till there's no way left for villains. Liu Ryan tried to struggle, but my foot was as heavy as a mountain. She couldn't even budge, her eyes full of confusion. She couldn't understand how this useless guy suddenly turned so powerful. Even more confused how the Chun family could sway a Zhuanshan's elder. I looked at her. Liu Ryan, didn't you ask why I used you as a wager? As I spoke, a shifting shadow token appeared in my hand. Time flowed within its glow. A floating image was projected. Everyone in the hall was shocked. Liu Yuansen crashed to the floor in shock, face turning pale. In the projection, Liu Ryan and a man were tangled together. Every detail was clear, except the man's face was hidden, so you couldn't see who it was. Clearly, it wasn't me. I loosened my foot a bit. Let Liu Ryan get a good look. She murmured, how could this be? I sneered, how indeed. So I wasn't even after you. You came looking for trouble yourself. The guilty blames first. I flicked my finger on the token. Another buzz. The image shot into the sky and projected over all of Aurora City. Liu Ryan's face was pure terror. She struggled wildly. I pressed harder and stomped her back down. That footage was stamped last night from the Heavenly Tao scroll. Liu Ryan's an important early female side character. Her fate tied to mine. So everything about her is recorded in the story script. And the villain entangled with her has a villain system. So he's not part of the Heavenly Tao. That's why his face can't be seen in the scroll. In a moment, every cultivator in Aurora City saw it. And the city erupted. Aurora's young lord the Sen saw the projection and yelled in anger. So that's why. I was wondering why Chanzhou was acting wild. He gambled Liu Ryan to me. Turns out he was just handing me his cheating fiancée. Ooh, I want nothing to do with her. Not my problem. Elsewhere, a sharp-faced youth watched the projection and asked anxiously, what happened? Where's the system error from? After a burst of static, an icy robotic voice replied, looks like the host was caught by some passing powerhouse while seducing the side character. But the story hasn't changed. The villain asked again about Chanzhou's fate system. Host failed to interfere with the plot. The protagonist's luck wasn't lost. The villain frowned. The system added, don't worry, host. Next, the protagonist's opportunity is key. He'll get his first opportunity tomorrow. The innate restoration pill. That'll form an immortal spirit root. What the host needs to do is snatch the pill when the protagonist gets it.
Take it from him.
That way the host can steal his opportunity. And take his luck too. Host can also use the innate restoration pill to form his own spirit root. The villain's eyes lit up. Got it. Time to get ready. Meanwhile, at the Chun house, Dad saw the projection in the sky. Rage filled his eyes. But he was puzzled too, especially about Zhao's cultivation and that crimson foot. What's that all about? Back in the parlor, I looked at Liu Yuanzhen. Master Liu, you saw the compensation for the spiritual energy damage. Since that's settled, let's pay following this standard. 10 times to the Chun family. Liu Yuanzhen's eyes widened. That's impossible. 10 times 1 million top-grade spirit stones. That's 10 million. Even if he sold the Liu family, he couldn't pay that. He'd probably rather give up his daughter. I ignored him. I turned and looked at Jie Yangshe, gasping on the floor. An elder from Zhuangshan sect, right? Since you dared to show off at my Shan family, you won't be leaving. As soon as I finished speaking, the giant crimson foot on Jie Yangshe's body suddenly pressed down hard. Jie Yangshe let out a short scream, then fell silent. Her nascent soul tried to escape, but a huge invisible mouth snapped shut around it and swallowed it whole. Zhuangshan sect's nascent soul stage. Elder Jie Yangshe. Everyone in the hall gasped. No one thought the Chun family would really kill an elder from Zhuangshan sect. I actually felt relieved. The Book of Heaven says, the Chun family will fall in 3 years. The villains lurk in the shadows. But Zhuangshan sect is the main threat. Jie Yangshe was even more vicious, not even sparing Chun family's infants. So in that case, it's better to turn the hatred open. I have heaven's will behind me. Why should I be afraid? I looked again at the Liu family. Liu family head, before noon today. I want to see compensation paid. Liu Yuansen collapsed to the ground, eyes filled with despair. Finally, I looked down at Liu Ryan at my feet. She gritted her teeth, her eyes full of hatred. Chanzhou, I'll never forgive you. I sneered. Funny, I won't let you go either. With a flip of my hand, I pulled out a thumb-thick, blood-red incense stick and stabbed it straight into Liu Ryan's head. It vanished instantly. Next moment, Thin streaks of blood-red smoke seeped from her head. Fear finally filled Liu Ryan's eyes. What did you do to me? I withdrew my foot, smiling slightly. Bony roding soul-scattering incense. I told you I'd Chanja only mourn a lost wife. Never call off an engagement. Bony roding soul-scattering incense. In 3 days, it finishes its work. When it's done, your soul will be destroyed. Hearing that name, another round of gasps filled the hall. Liu Ryan's eyes showed only despair. Death isn't scary. The waiting is. The Liu family ran out of the Chun residence in a mess. Dad suddenly blocked me just as I was taking my dog back to my room. He sized me up and down. And all those words turned into one question. What the hell happened? He was full of questions. That powerhouse who stomped Zhe Yangsha to death made him feel immense pressure, and I, overnight, jumped from third layer key refining to foundation establishment stage, and even knocked down Liu Ryan with my shoe. If I hadn't shown my power myself, he wouldn't have seen through me at all. And that bony-roding soul-scattering incense is a rare treasure. No wonder he's worried. I gave a mischievous grin. Playing mysterious, Dad. I just took a powerful master as my teacher. He'll visit our Chun family soon. Dad froze. You have a master now? I nodded. You'll see when the time comes. Only then did Dad relax. If I couldn't give a good explanation today, he'd worry an old monster possessed me. Just then, Yan Ranran's voice sounded in my mind. Brother Hu, come to the tribulation now. I hurriedly said, Dad, I have something to do. Gotta go, and left in a hurry. Dad wanted to ask more, but saw me heading to my room and paused. So was he really not sleeping just now? Did something happen in a dream? Back in my room, I shut the door and sat cross-legged on the bed, started running the 9 Heavens Thunder Command Sutra. That's my new cultivation method, and also the secret art for controlling tribulation. As I practiced, thunder rumbled in my ears. I'd already entered the heavenly tribulation. Under the tribulation, I saw a vast ancient battlefield. Ruins and broken walls everywhere. Weapons, fragments, and piles of white bones. Right under the tribulation clouds lay a giant ancient corpse. A man's corpse, dead for years. But his body was still towering and mighty. He gave off a fierce, violent aura. Wore bronze battle armor. Gripped a bronze spear tightly. A blue-green sword was stuck in his chest. That was what killed him. Master, I called out tentatively. Yan Ranran's voice replied, that is the chance I found for you. I quickly looked down, past the warrior and the sword, and suddenly saw something. There was a dark shadow next to the corpse, exactly like the ancient warrior. If you didn't pay attention, you'd never notice. Yan Ranran laughed. Right, it's the shadow, that corpse's shadow. It absorbed all the hostility and resentment of this battlefield, and the killing intent from the sword. Now it's about to take form and be born. The shadow demon's been shaped by this battlefield, and developed an innate soul. But the soul is full of endless hatred and wrath, killing and vicious intent. Once it's born, it'll be a fearsome monster. Yan Ranran added, planning to take him as a minion, or refine him as an external body. My eyes lit up. You can really make him an external avatar? Of course. It hasn't formed a body yet, and doesn't have a spirit. Yan Ranran said you can refine it into an external avatar, then have it face the tribulation too. Master will now teach you the art of external incarnation. A subtle thought entered my mind. Yan Ranran just gave me the method, not the actual refining. And right now, as I control this tribulation, I'm also boosted by the rules of heaven and earth. Even if it's not true heavenly law, it's still close. Thunder rumbled over and over. My body with lightning dropped down, next to the shadow demon. Following Yan Ranran's method, I refined the shadow demon instantly, making it my external avatar. The next second, a huge chaotic will poured from the demon's innate soul into my mind, filled with killing and destruction. It kept attacking my mind, trying to change me, but I had heavenly Tao's protection. So as soon as it entered my awareness, it was shattered by heavenly power. I couldn't help but click my tongue. Anyone else would have instantly become the demon's puppet. They'd turn into its shadow clone. I finished refining the shadow demon as my external avatar, but it was still just a blob of dark shadow, not fully formed yet. My true self returned above the tribulation. And instantly, 49 thunderbolts fell, striking the shadow demon. After a moment, the tribulation faded. The dark shadow on the demon disappeared. It turned into my form. Reason 7 is its talent. After the shadow spirit split and transformed, it actually had nascent soul strength. Even with a terrifying talent, shadow morph, it could turn into pure shadow, move like a ghost. I glanced at the ancient sword and spear nearby. Just as I was about to speak, Yan Ranran's voice sounded. Bury him. After so many years, everything here has long since decayed. If the corpse hadn't been so powerful in life, it would have turned to dust by now. I nodded with some regret, dug a big hole next to the corpse, and buried him inside. When I opened my eyes again, I'd returned to my room. My shadow spirit clone came back too. It became a tiny shadow hiding in the dark. At this moment, I saw a scroll floating in my sea of consciousness. It was the Heaven Dao scroll I saw last night, the very same Heaven Dao scroll. The next moment, the scroll slowly unrolled. What's about to happen still has to do with the Destiny villain. It's still related to the Destiny villain. I raised an eyebrow slightly. Words appeared on the scroll. The original opportunity that should belong to me, the innate spirit pill. With it, I could forge a celestial spirit root. Normally, I should get this pill in the story. But now, in this storyline, the villain system spoiled it for the Destiny villain. He's stealing my chance, and about to take my luck. I looked at the content on the Heaven Dao scroll. A wicked smile flashed in my eyes. Trying to steal my fortune, huh? Fine, go ahead and try. Chan Dakyang, get in here. I called toward the door. The killin with red fur who shapeshifts into a big dog. Chan Dakyang wagged his fluffy tail, ran in happily, looking at his fawning face. I got straight to the point. Do you have any poison that isn't lethal, but is super humiliating? Last time, I used the bone-melting incense on Liu Ryan, and got it from him. This top-tier divine beast at the transformation stage has collected tons of treasures in 300 years. Chan Dakyang quickly opened his ring space and rummaged around, pulled out a small white porcelain bottle, and handed it to me, flattering Master Heaven Dao. Stop, don't call me Master Heaven Dao. I cut him off right away. If anyone hears you, it's a big problem. He paused for a second, then quickly changed. Master, this is 3 yin divine water. Just a drop will mess up a cultivator's organs and upset their digestion. The humiliation's on another level. My eyes lit up. This stuff is perfect. Organs messed up, digestion ruined. So it's just making a cultivator have diarrhea. Just as I said that, a little shadow stirred next to me. The bottle disappeared in an instant. All right, you can keep guarding me. Chan Dakyang hurried to agree. Don't worry, Master. I'll guard the door.
He trotted out to stand watch.
I sat back on the bed, crossed my legs, and started running 9 heavens technique. Thunder, virtue, and purity. Scripture from the heavens. For now, I'm only at foundation establishment, and can only control tribulations for spirits or shapeshifters, but to help ancestor transcend pain-free, and control the immortal tribulation for cultivators. My real body must reach nascent soul stage. That's why I'm training so hard now. Meanwhile, my spirit clone took the 3 yin divine water, headed straight to Jade Treasure Pavilion in the south of Aurora City. It's the biggest auction house in the city. They have everything: treasures, spirit stones, pills. The warehouse is guarded by 9 great arrays. But for an invisible spirit, they're nothing. I snuck in without a sound, and soon found my target, a pill sealed with restrictions. It looked like a top-grade emerald spirit pill, said to refine the body and change roots. But it's secretly the innate spirit pill that forges new roots. This is my first Heaven Dao opportunity. It holds my Heaven Dao luck, originally by the plot. After Liu Ryan called off our engagement, I yelled, "Don't bullies look down on the young and poor." That's when I realized the truth. But wasting 17 years in training, I'd fallen way behind. Luckily, during the Jade Treasure auction, I accidentally won this immortal pill, and rose to the top with my celestial spirit root.
A genius rising to the top, crushing all foe. But this plot was leaked to the villain by his system. The elixir was stolen, and my luck was taken. Luckily, I know everything now. I even found this fate-changing pill myself. Heavenly villain, a cold smirk formed on my lips. Yan Ranran said, "The villain didn't kill me yet, because my luck protects me. He can't kill me until it's all gone. Likewise, he has his system, so killing him won't be easy, even if I do. The system will just find a new host. Whoever it binds to becomes the new villain. So what I need to do now is drain the system's power dry without luck to recharge it. The system will eventually wither and die." I looked at the pill in my hand, my eyes full of malice. My hand turned into a shadow. Passing through the barrier, taking out the spirit reversal pill, I stuffed it into the 3-yin water bottle. The thumb-sized pill actually soaked up the entire bottle. Not a single drop left, just a tiny bit of this water can give a cultivator diarrhea for 3 days. This whole bottle will last him months. 3-yin water is colorless and tasteless, looking just like normal water, but it holds pure wicked energy. Refining, it can clear impurities. But if you drink it directly, the consequences are obvious. Smirking, I put the pill back in the barrier, turning into a shadow. I silently left the warehouse. Near noon, I woke from my cultivation. The moment I stepped out, I was stunned. "Dad, what are you doing here?" My father, Chunjun Luo, sat by the door. He saw me come out, stood up, and brushed off some non-existent dust. He cleared his throat and said calmly, "It's nothing. I just had an epiphany. So I meditated right here." I glanced at Chen Dakiang nearby. His eyes were full of disbelief. It was obvious Dad was guarding me. "Anyway, the demon pass is in danger. I'm heading to the far north today. While I'm gone, stay home and stay out of trouble," Father suddenly said, hearing Northern Demon Pass. My heart skipped a beat. That's a major event. The border between the dynasty and demons. Right now it's just minor skirmishes, but in a year, the demons will launch a massive raid. My father will be pushed to the brink. I was supposed to save the day, but the villain changed the plot. I never made it there. My father was crippled, and the Chen family experts fell, setting the stage for our clan's doom. Now that I know the future, I won't let that happen. I grinned. "Dad, don't worry about me. I definitely won't cause trouble." "Humph, then where are you going now?" Father asked, annoyed. I scratched my head. "The Liu family hasn't sent the payment, so I'm going to collect it myself." Father nodded slightly, then asked, "By the way, when does your master arrive?" I blinked, startled. Yun Ranran said she'd come soon, but gave no specific time. As I hesitated, her clear voice rang in my mind. "Tell your dad your master will be there in 3 days." I quickly replied, "Master just messaged. 3 days." Father seemed relieved. "Good then." Chen Jundaluo took a few experts and quietly left Aurora City. As for the Chen family, many cultivators had already gathered, ready to settle the score with the Lu. Everything within 8,000 miles belongs to the Chen family. All local clans are our subordinates. The Lu family is no exception. Yet they dared to plot against us. In the eyes of our kin, the Lu family is already dead. As for the Zhuantian sect, now that the conflict is public, we'll be demanding answers soon enough. Meanwhile, Liu Yunzhen, the clan head, was bowing to a delicate-looking youth. "Thank you, Lord, for saving my daughter." That youth is from one of the 4 great noble houses. Nangong Qi, son of the Sun Lord, he's also the heavenly villain with the system. Nangong Qi waved his hand, a warm smile on his feminine face. It was nothing, not worth mentioning. Besides, Ryan is one of my people now. I won't let anyone bully her. Lu Ryan stood by his side, her eyes filled with affection. The poison inside her had been cleared by Nangong Qi, if my calculations are correct. In a moment, Chun Shao will come knocking. Nangong Qi looked at Li Ryan. "Ryan, the humiliation you suffered, you must take back yourself. You must crush Chen Shao." He flipped his hand, and a glowing pill appeared. "This is a grade 3 soul-bursting pill. It can boost a foundation stage expert. to the Golden Core stage temporarily. It lasts for half an hour. Lou Ryan's eyes lit up. She took it immediately. Lou had a flash of worry in his eyes. He knew these pills usually cause damage. Seeing his concern, Nangongki smiled. Don't worry. My pill has no side effects. Ryan can use this chance to experience the Golden Core realm early. He got this from the System Mall, so of course it was safe. Just then, a servant rushed in. Master, this is bad. The Chen family cultivators are here. They've surrounded the entire estate. Lu Yuanzhen's face paled, and he looked at Nangongki. Nangongki laughed out loud. Don't worry, clan head Lu. With me here. The Chuns can't do a thing. Ryan, when Chun Xiao enters, go challenge him. Grind him into the dirt. Hearing this, Lu Ryan swallowed the pill. Energy surged wildly, instantly hitting the Golden Core stage. This time I'll kill him with my own hands. Lu, Ryan hissed, her eyes burning with hatred. Nangongki didn't care. He knew I was the protagonist, so I wouldn't die, that is, as long as Ryan defeats me and shames me in public. He can steal my heavenly luck. Once my luck runs dry, I'll be as good as dead. He paused, then took out a red talisman and gave it to Li Ryan. This is a grade 5 fire talisman. It packs a punch like a spirit master. Chen Xiao is full of tricks. Kept this talisman on me, just in case. Lu Ryan took the blessing talisman. She quickly said, Brother Qi, don't worry. I'll definitely kill Chen Xiao. Nangongki nodded with a smile. He knew one fire talisman couldn't kill me, but it was enough to embarrass me badly. A deafening boom shook the air. The Lu family's protection array crashed down. The heavy gate collapsed with a thud. I walked in first with my big red dog, Chen Dakia. We stepped right into the Lu family estate. My voice echoed through the Lu household. Lu family, it's time. How's that 10 million top-grade spirit stone compensation going? Right now, the Liu family is surrounded from all sides. Chen family cultivators have circled the entire place. That scary aura pressed down like dark clouds. Everyone from the Liu family could barely breathe. Despair filled their faces. Nangongki frowned slightly. He whispered to Liu Ryan, Ryan, go challenge Chen Xiao. Go fight Chen Xiao. Liu Ryan nodded. She slowly walked to the front yard. The power of the explosive Yuan pill burst out completely. Her energy kept growing stronger. She clutched the 5th grade fire talisman in her palm. Ready to go for the kill at any second, Liu Yuanzhen and a few Liu family leaders followed closely behind. Liu Ryan's clear voice spread through a magical speaker, echoed for miles across the sky. A humiliation like this can't go unanswered. Chen Xiao, do you dare fight me? The Chen family, surrounding the Liu family, had already alerted every power in Aurora City. When they heard Li Ryan was challenging me, the whole city buzzed. A bunch of cultivators rushed over to watch. Everyone remembered that famous image shared all over town this morning, and Li Ryan was the star of it. Nangongki, who hid in the crowd, had a grin at the corner of his mouth. He knew the more people who saw me get humiliated, the more of my luck would scatter. He'd already found out my cultivation was at the early foundation stage. Even with luck on my side, I could barely fight someone at the gold core stage. But the fire talisman in Liu Ryan's hand was enough to make me pay big time. I watched Liu Ryan slowly walking over, and instantly noticed the poison in her body had been neutralized. A thought flashed through my mind. So the Destiny protagonist really was in the Liu family. I gave a mocking laugh, my tone full of contempt. Who do you think you are? You know who I am. Want to fight me? You're not even qualified. Suddenly, a huge crimson foot crashed down from the sky and stomped Liu Reinhardt with another loud bang. The entire Liu family estate trembled. That fiery foot slammed down right on Liu Ryan. She didn't even have time to scream before she was dead silent. I looked at the ground in total disgust. pulled out a piece of paper from my pocket, and tossed it over lightly. Here's your breakup letter. Can't let you jest? Keep calling yourself my fiancé. Since you're dead now, I guess I'll give you your freedom back. Everyone bear witness. I, Chen Xiao, have no fiancé. Suddenly, the whole place went dead silent. No one expected I'd just killed you, Ryan, over an argument. The Liu family didn't even have time to help. Nangongqi, hiding behind the crowd, nearly choked with anger. Third-grade explosive yuan pill, fifth-grade fire talisman, antidote for the corpse-piercing poison. He'd used all his points to buy them from the system shop, and it all went to waste. He'd barely gotten any fortune from me. His points were almost gone. Now it just felt like he'd punched the air and got kicked for nothing. He's supposed to be the main character, right? So am I the villain? Or is he? Why does Chen Xiao never play by the rules? In his mind, the protagonist should always be righteous.
The fiancé who broke off the engagement challenged me in public. I should fight her myself and win. System. What's going on with this part of the story? Nangongqi called out frantically in his mind. Host, I'm here. A cold mechanical voice sounded, with a hint of hesitation. Chen Zhao's original setting was a playboy. After the breakup with Liu Ryan, that's when his mindset changes. But this morning's breakup was different than the original story. The main character's mindset didn't change.
He's still an arrogant troublemaker.
The system fell silent after that. Clearly, even it didn't get what's going on. The plot seems the same, but it's totally messed up. A moment later, the system said the protagonist's fortune is even stronger now. You need to personally bring him down a notch. Snatch his lucky destiny. Lan Gongqi narrowed his eyes, glaring at me. I held the big red dog on a leash and nudged Liu Ryan's body with my foot. A severed hand dropped out, still gripping a charm, stained with blood, but glowing with intense heat. TSK. She brought a fifth-grade fire talisman to challenge me. I spoke calmly, but every word was clear. The Liu family really knows how to plan. As soon as I finished, everyone's gaze and spiritual sense immediately focused on the severed hand. It really is a fifth-grade fire talisman. That kind of talisman could hit as hard as a deity transformation master. Liu Ryan brought something like that to fight young Master Chen. That's basically attempted murder. He was in the golden core stage earlier. Must have taken some explosive pill. Spectators outside the Liu family gasped. Some people used to complain about Liu Ryan's death. After all, she was the top beauty in Aurora City. But now they saw the truth. Everyone understood. Liu Ryan just used the public fight as an excuse to kill me outright. In an instant, the Shan family cultivators surrounding the Lius froze up. The oppressive energy grew again. Liu Yuansen's face turned wildly pale. Devastation all over him. I stepped over Liu Ryan's corpse, dragging the dog along as I walked toward him, and spoke up again. Master Liu, is your 10 million spiritual stones ready? Liu Yuansen stepped back in a panic. His face went even paler. The Liu family cultivators didn't dare move a muscle. Suddenly, a crisp voice broke out. That 10 million spiritual stones. I'll pay them for the Liu family. Then, a young man in pale blue clothes, with a soft, sharp look, walked out from the inner hall, made his way through the crowd, stopped in front of me. My brow twitched. A strange feeling came over me. I had never seen this guy before, but the moment he showed up, only one thought filled my mind. I have to kill him. If I don't, I'll be the one who dies. Master, that's the fated villain. I recited silently in my heart. Sigh. Yan Ranran's voice echoed in my head. So you've met the villain of fate? I was surprised. Master, you can't see him? The villain system can block out even the heavens. In my current state, I can't sense him at all. Yan Ranran's voice was frustrated. That villain system is tricky. You need to be extra careful. I grunted in response, glanced up at Nangongqi, and said with meaning, so you're the secret lover. No wonder Nangongqi froze up for a second. He realized, what? Secret lover. I pulled out a recording stone and tapped it lightly. The scandal everyone saw this morning showed up again for all to see. That figure is definitely him. Right away, a Chun family cultivator played along in shock. even though you can't see his face clearly. It's enough to put Nangong Qi in a tough spot. Everyone started to chime in. Nangong Qi's face went bright red, because the man in the image really is him. Enough, Lan Gongshi barked coldly. 10 million top-grade spiritual stones. I'll pay up,
he said,
waving his hand. Boom, a mountain of spirit stones appeared, right at the Liu family mansion. Waves of spirit energy swept the whole place. Everyone was stunned. Even I couldn't help it. In my life, I never seen this many top-grade spirit stones. Lan Gongshi lifted his chin, voice full of challenge. But to take these 10 million spirit stones, you have to beat me first. Chen Zhao, do you dare fight me? I slowly put away the recording stone, glanced at the pile of stones, then said coolly, "Who are you to think you're worthy to fight me?" Nangong Qi waved his hand, and the spirit stones vanished instantly. I am the son of Marquis Tianying, noble of the Dayu immortal dynasty. Nangong Qi, do I qualify to challenge the Chen family heir? The 4 big marquises of the Dayu immortal dynasty stand equal to the heads of the 8 great families. The imperial power is weak at the center. The 3 immortal sects and holy lands. And the top 8 families only pay partial obedience to the court. Only these 4 marquises are truly loyal. I looked him up and down and sneered. So is that what your dad, Marquis Tianyang, teaches you every day? How to seduce other people's fiancés? And improve your bed skills? Someone nearby couldn't hold back and laughed. Right after, everyone started laughing. Marquis Tianyang's Nangong Qi, in the Dayu immortal dynasty, is also a famously gifted genius. Top-level fire spirit root and special talents. Reached nascent soul before hitting 50. One of the most powerful talents in the empire. But nobody expected this young lord would run to Aurora City and get mixed up with Liu Ryan. Now everyone gets it too. No wonder the little Liu family dares go against the Chens. They got backed by Marquis Tianyang. Nangong Qi's eyes nearly spit fire at me. Host, calm down. He's clearly trying to set you off. The system's voice sounded in his mind. Nangong Qi forced himself to stay cool. But he was still holding in anger. He always had a thing for Liu Ryan and wanted her in his harem. That's why he spent so many points on treasures. He stepped up and shouted, "Chen Zhao, do you have the guts?" I looked him over again, then said, "Fine. Hand over the 10 million stones first. Or forget it. Beat me and the 10 million are yours." Lan Gongqi stood firm. I ignored him, turned to Liu Yuansen and said, "Master Liu, if you can't cough up 10 million top-grade stones, I'll just take over your whole family to mine for Chen Zhao." What, is the young master of the Shan family too scared to accept a challenge? Nangong Qi pressed me. I sneered. If you want to challenge me, then put down 10 million top-grade spirit stones. Otherwise, forget it. I'm a busy guy, you know? I know exactly what's going on here. He just wants to challenge me, wants to suppress me and steal my luck. So I'm not worried he won't hand over the spirit stones. But in others' eyes, they think I'm making things difficult for him. After all, Nangong Qi is a top genius in the dynasty, and I'm just a rich playboy from Aurora City. Being able to fight him, most people think it's a huge honor for me. Everyone thinks, even if Nangong Qi is mad, he's not really going to put up 10 million top-grade spirit stones as the wager for this fight, unless he's a total sucker. The very next moment, everyone was stunned. Nangong Qi hesitated for a moment, then gritted his teeth and said, "Fine. I'll give you the 10 million top-grade spirit stones." In his mind, beating me and stealing my luck will unlock more functions for his system. Compared to that, 10 million spirit stones mean nothing. Next second, he waved his hand, and spirit stones rained down from the sky, piling up into a huge mountain in the Liu family's yard. The spiritual energy almost overflowed the place. Ryan was one of my new moon people. Today she died by your hand. I must get revenge. Nangong Qi made up a self-righteous excuse. Then everyone finally understood. They thought he must have really cared for Liu Ryan, or he wouldn't pay so much just for revenge. But I didn't care. I said calmly, "That's some deep affection. So why not collect her body already?" Nangong Qi froze in place, and the people around finally realized it too. Yeah, This young Marquis kept saying he's avenging Liu Ryan. But from when she died until now, he hasn't even looked once at her body. It was ridiculously awkward. I ignored all that, told the Shan family to pack up the stones and count them carefully. Nang Gongqi just stood there, watching the Shan family count the stones. His face went pale, then green. After a moment, I looked up at him. Totally serious. Young Marquis, you're missing 25 pieces. A deal's a deal. A million has to be a million. One piece short, and it's not a million. Nang Gongqi's face turned completely black. He nearly broke his own teeth, clenching his jaw. If this wasn't Aurora City and Chen family territory, he would have slapped me dead already. He angrily took out 25 more top-grade spirit stones and threw them at me. I grinned and took them. All right, now we're good. So, young Marquis, when and where are we fighting? Right here, right now, Nang Gongqi replied, teeth clenched. I reminded him again. So, young Marquis, aren't you going to collect your new moon follower's body? If you wait, it's going to get messy. Nang Gongqi shot Liu Yuanzhen a hard glare. The message was clear, it's your daughter. Deal with it yourself. Liu Yuanzhen snapped out of it and quickly told his servants to take care of the body. Weird, where did that 5th rank flame talisman go? The Liu family's servants searched for a long time, but there was no sign of the talisman. Nang Gongqi's face burned hotter with embarrassment. It had come to this, and the Liu family was still looking for some talisman. That was just shameful. Enough, back off! Nang Gongqi shouted angrily. The Liu family finally retreated to the side, leaving the center open. Zhao, did you find it? I am the Chan family's elder. Chan Wangsu's dull voice echoed in my ear. He stood in midair, his eyes full of worry. I glanced at him and gave a slight nod. On the other side, the system's voice kept ringing in Nang Gongqi's head. Host, go all out. Don't give the protagonist any chance to fight back. Crush his fate now, so you can steal more later. Relax, I won't give him any openings. Nang Gongqi said coldly. The Liu family's front yard was cleared out. All the Chang clan cultivators looked at me nervously. If anything goes wrong, they'll rush up to protect me. I crooked a finger at Nang Gongqi, telling him to make his move. Nang Gongqi had no expression. He suddenly swung his hand. Heat waves exploded out in the air. A blazing sword energy, wrapped around a fiery dragon shadow 10 zhang long, came straight at me, claws bared. Sword intent? Nang Gongqi actually mastered it. Someone in the crowd gasped. In the world of cultivation, if you understand sword intent, you're a sword saint. Nang Gongqi really is a top genius of the dynasty. Facing this terrifying sword, I didn't even flinch. I raised my hand and slapped at the fiery dragon in front of me. No one noticed. A tiny bit of shadow curled in my palm, with a crystal at its center. A blazing fire crystal boom. A loud bang. The dragon-shaped sword flashed blue apart instantly. Nang Gongqi's sword flew right back to him. In that moment, the shadow in my palm grew, wrapping my whole body up, and then I vanished. When I appeared again, I was right in front of Nang Gongqi. My eyes were pitch black. No emotion at all. I threw a heavy punch at his face. Careful, host. His cultivation just shot up to nascent soul level. The system's warning blasted in Nang Gongqi's head. His pupils shrank. 3 sword lights flared around him, trying to cut off my arm before my fist could land. But something weird happened. All 3 sword lights went right through my arm and body, but didn't hurt me at all. What the hell? Nang Gongqi was stunned. But my punch didn't slow down and slammed right into his face. That punch was way past Foundation establishment power. Nang Gongqi grunted in pain and flew backward in an instant. 3 bloody teeth spun through the air. I tapped my toe on the ground and shot right after him like a ghost. My fists turned to blurs, raining punches all over Nang Gongqi. The cultivators watching all twitched. They knew exactly what's up. This is definitely our young Master Chen's style. What I'm using now isn't any immortality technique, not even a real spell, just plain street brawling. This messy barrage of punches beat the Marquis of Tianyang till he couldn't fight back at all. Nang Gongqi tried to fight back, but suddenly discovered
His body
was locked down by invisible force. Even his spiritual power felt super heavy. Everyone watching was stunned. The Chan cultivators were ready to jump in and rescue me. But instead, I was the one beating down the Marquis with street moves. They were all thinking, wow, our young master is this fierce? Guess it tracks. After all, just this morning, Liu Ryan got sent flying by my shoe. Chang Zhao, Nangong Qi shouted in rage. I nodded. It's me, did you call Dad? Nangong Qi heard that and coughed up blood on the spot. He spat blood just like that. I let out a short laugh, then waved my hand. A blazing talisman stuck to him. Next second, I jumped back. And suddenly, flames erupted all over him. His face changed. He instantly knew. That's the 5th grade fire talisman. That disappeared earlier. It should have hit me. But now it was burning him instead. Fire wrapped him up in a flash. And his fancy robe started burning. You brat, shouted an angry voice. From inside the Nangong family hall, a greenish sword flash shot out, aiming right at me. It's Sikong Zhao. Yan Ranran's angry voice echoed in my ear. That was the henchman master found for you. But now the villain stole him. I had already checked the plot ahead. But Sikong Zhao's betrayal still made Yan Ranran furious. His reputation as the top sword cultivator was supposed to work for me by heaven's will. But the villain snatched him over. And now he's with Nangong Qi. No wonder this system is so hard to track. I can't sense it at all now. Turns out the villain converted your ally early. Yan Ranran's voice echoed in my head nonstop. Those chosen for me by destiny all carry heaven's luck. If the villain takes them, the system robs their luck too. Yan Ranran could track the system before, but now she can't sense a thing. If she hadn't found me ahead of time and gone over the plot, even opened a cheat, the story would have been rewritten. As soon as she said that, Sikong Zhao's sword was right in front of me. Bam! Right then, another flying sword dropped from the sky and shattered Sikong Zhao's sword light. A middle-aged man in a green robe landed, looking weary. He stood in front of me, protecting me. Great-grandfather stared at him, shocked. That man in green was the Chun family's ancestor Chun Fengyang, a tribulation stage powerhouse. Chun Fengyang nodded at me and said coldly, "This is a battle between juniors. Why are you, a senior, interfering?" Then his body turned to a blur and charged at Sikong Zhao. Chun Fengyang and Sikong Zhao stared wide-eyed, afraid to face a tribulation stage cultivator head-on. He grabbed Nangong Qi and soared away with sword light. By now, Nangong Qi's clothes were already burned off, and Sikong Zhao carried him. A glow shimmered over his skin, putting out the fire. Then he raised a recorder stone click and caught everything on film. He's just lacking money compared to me. Can't hold a candle. I smacked my lips, wondering how much this footage could sell for. At Yubo Pavilion. With that, I put the stone away. Determined, I'll give the big villain 2 unforgettable surprises at tomorrow's auction. Chun Fengyang didn't attack again.
His figure slowly faded away.
It was just his avatar. His real body is in seclusion, preparing for the heavenly tribulation in 3 years. I wasn't planning to chase them either. Nangong Qi has the destiny villain system to protect him. All I can do now is keep hurting him, drain the system's energy. Sikong Zhao and Nangong Qi ran away in a panic. I turned to look at Liu Yuanzhen. Liu family head. Shouldn't we keep talking about compensation now? 10 million high-grade spirit stones. Get it? The entire Liu family as slaves. Liu family cultivators still haven't snapped out of the shock. The moment they heard that, they all looked stunned. Liu Yuanzhen was the first to react. With a trembling voice, he said, "Aren't those 10 million high-grade spirit stones already paid off by Lord Nangong? Didn't he pay it for our Liu family?" I sneered. "Paid it for you?" Those 10 million were clearly Nangong Qi's fee to challenge me. How did that become your Liu family's debt? Veins popped on Liu Yuanzhen's forehead. Chan Zhao, just now Lord Nangong made it clear that the 10 million was to pay our family's debt. I didn't waste any words. I just took out another shadow stone. On screen, Nangong Qi used 10 million high-grade spirit stones to challenge me. Crystal clear. Liu Yuanzhen collapsed right then. "Take him down." I waved my hand. Boom! A huge formation rose from the ground. It covered the whole Liu family. The cultivators filed in, That's enough. A cool, clear voice suddenly came from outside the door. A girl in a blue dress, with stunning beauty, walked in slowly. Her eyes locked onto me. Chang Zhao, that's enough. This was supposed to be my destined female lead. Zhao Yuqing. I frowned. I used to like her a little, but now she's been won over by Nangang Qi. Yesterday I got hot-headed and used the engagement as a wager. He was the one pulling strings in the background. That's what made me look like a fool. Almost became a laughingstock. A lot of my fortune's blessing also got snatched by the villain system. Right now, Zhao Yuqing's eyes glowed with a blue haze. She stared right at me. All the Chan family cultivators stopped moving. They glanced at me, hesitating. Everyone knows. Zhao Yuqing and I grew up together. We've been close since childhood. We're really tight. In Aurora City, I'm the troublemaker. Even Chen Zhenluo can't control me. But I only listen to Zhao Yuqing. A lot of people think she's a better match for me than Liu Ryan. Seeing Zhao Yuqing step in, Liu Yuanzhen's eyes lit up right away. He was waiting for me to back down. My mind wavered for a second. The blue light in Zhao Yuqing's eyes felt like invisible swords, piercing into my mind. It made my thoughts fuzzy, right when I was about to lose control. A boom of thunder erupted inside me. The nine heavens thunder activated instantly. My eyes immediately cleared up. I looked at her with a half smile. So those 10 million high-grade spirit stones are already covered for the Liu family. As soon as I said that, everyone in the Chan family let out a sigh of relief. They were really afraid I'd give in because of this girl and let the Liu family go. Zhao Yuqing's face changed. She never expected I'd break free from her mental control. Before she could react, I stepped forward, grabbed her collar. Zhao Yuqing tried to fight back, but was shocked to find her body was tied up by something. Even her true energy was stuck. Her late golden core stage was completely. If it's blocked, it's useless. Of course, my demon avatar handled it. Just now, I used this move on Nangang Qi, who's at nascent soul stage. Use the same trick. Demon avatar. Nascent soul level. Zhao Yuqing, you were an orphan. My Chan family always treated you well. I was watching him. Flying swords, magical weapons, pills, techniques. Anything you wanted. The Shan family tried their best to provide. You were never mistreated. Yet you turned out so ungrateful. Don't think I don't know. You and Nangang Qi were scheming together long ago. Hearing this, Zhao Yuqing went pale. A cold light flashed in his eyes even brighter. He stared hard at me. Suddenly, everything around me shifted rapidly. Illusions flashed before my eyes. My thunder jade and sky crystal started spinning madly. These illusions can't affect me at all. I slapped him across the face. Zhao Yuqing's pale face instantly swelled up. He was in shock. All the illusions vanished. My gaze turned cold. I stared into his glowing blue eyes. I spoke slowly. So you're a born spirit child. Someone, take him away. Lock him in the family's forbidden's domain. As soon as I said that, everyone froze. The forbidden's area is for evil cultivators or traitors. Even the fourth elder, Chan Wenyuan, is still locked up there. And now I'm sending Zhao Yuqing in too. But I'm the young master. No one dared to hesitate. They stepped up right away and held him down. Zhao Yuqing totally panicked. He just didn't get it. It was just one night apart. So why do I seem like a different person? I always did whatever he wanted, even without using his spirit child powers. And once he did, I had zero resistance. Where did it go wrong? Chang Zhao, you can't treat me like this. Zhao Yuqing's voice shook. The cultivators in the Chun family took out spirit-binding ropes. They tied him up. Wait a sec, I said suddenly. A lot of people looked like they expected that, thinking I still couldn't give up on my old friend. Zhao Yuqing looked relieved. A hint of smugness flashed in his eyes. Well, hurry up. I waved my hand. His eyes are odd. Cover his eyes. Zhao Yuqing was completely hopeless. He regretted it so much.
He shouldn't have tried to help Nangang Qi and the Liu family.
But now it's way too late. The cultivators acted fast. They sealed off his spirit child abilities and took him straight back. Liu Yuanzhen and the rest of the Liu family saw it all. They lost all hope. The Liu family was destroyed today. Their whole clan was wiped out. Over 300 cultivators, men, women, young and old, all had their powers sealed. and got sent to dig at mines outside Aurora City. Even the ones outside got hunted down. Meanwhile, in a random inn inside Aurora City, Nangong Qi was raging. Damn it, why did this happen? Why can't I beat Chen Zhao? Today was supposed to be my first real showdown as the MC, facing the big villain head-on. Not only did I fail to take his luck, I ended up totally humiliated. The system spent a lot of energy to save me, just to keep me safe. Chen Zhao, the chosen one, isn't easy to beat, and we've always misread his personality. Nangong Qi calmed down a little. Until today, he always thought I was the righteous lead. But now look at how I acted. I'm even more villain than the actual villain. For now, stop messing with the chosen one, and just snipe his opportunities. Nangong Qi nodded about Chen Zhao's fateful chances, and those followers meant to be his. He glanced at Sekong Zhao outside the door. That should have been my guy, but now he works for him, and my destined female lead. All these people carry some kind of fate aura. Tomorrow's innate, ordinary elixir at the auction is a must host. That's the protagonist's first real chance. Super important. And the Dayluo sword in Jade Glow Mountain outside the city. Also a key event for the MC. So don't miss it. The system kept talking in his head. Nangong Qi's gaze turned serious. He looked determined. Right. System. Anyone else tied to Chen Zhao still in Aurora City? At the same time, I arrived at the Forbidden's grounds. The Shan family's Forbidden's area was built by immortal Du Tianji. There are 108,000 restrictions inside. Anyone less than an immortal can't get out. Zhao Yuqing was locked in a cell on the outskirts of the grounds. I stood outside the cell door and spoke to Yan Ranjan in my mind. Master, I want to take Zhao Yuqing's spirit child and transplant it to someone else. Is that even possible? Yan Ranjan seemed stunned. She went silent a while, then finally said, if you take his eyes, Zhao Yuqing's finished. Could you let it go? Zhao Yuqing was my old female lead. Yan Ranjan picked her, because there were feelings between us. It all worked out naturally. I nodded. The scroll says the Chan family was wiped out, and Zhao Yuqing was part of it. If I show mercy now, she'd turn on me for sure. If I didn't want her spirit child, I would have killed her already. She's a threat. So-called destined heroine. She's nothing compared to my family. Besides, I only had a tiny bit of feeling for her. Barely counts as liking her. Otherwise, I wouldn't keep the engagement with Liu Ryan going. All that obedience before was mostly her spirit child power messing with me. The Shan family spent endless resources training her, and in the end, she just betrayed us. I'm glad you're not soft-hearted. Good, I was worried you'd hesitate. Yan Ranjan spoke again. A natural spirit child is an innate divine being made from fate's power. To transplant it takes the Daluo sword's help. Woody, your main body is just too weak, with no hidden avatars. You're not beating Nangong Qi or Zhao Yuqing. Now, I'll train you up. My cultivation's at foundation stage, but I'm weaker than most at my level. The reason I beat Liu Ryan is just because his level was bought with pills.
Hearing special training.
My eyes lit up. Reading the Book of Fate, when I realized my family's fate was twisted by the villain system, my mindset totally changed. I used to be lazy and afraid of hardship, never wanted to train, but now, I wish I could hit nascent soul level right away, command heavenly tribulation, and help my ancestor ascend. Head to the tribulation and seize an opportunity first. Yan Renjan's voice sounded again. I left the Forbidden's grounds immediately. He ran back to his room, activating Juxiao. The Thunder Tribulation scripture appeared above the heavenly tribulation. Beneath the tribulation was a massive canyon. In the center stood a 100-jang tall alchemy furnace. Flames roared inside the furnace. A pale blue sword was forming inside. I could tell right away, this was a grade 9 immortal sword. There are 9 grades of celestial aura. Grade 1 is the strongest. Grade 9 is the weakest. Above grade 1, there's also super grade. This is the cultivation world. Immortal aura is born. Even the weakest grade 9 will draw a heavenly tribulation. Yan Ranyan sounded annoyed. Down below is Dayu's top crafting grandmaster. Ji Yo Yan, this is the first immortal sword he made. He was supposed to be your exclusive craftsman, but the big villain recruited him too. Now he's working for Marquis Tianyan. After we get the immortal sword, should we just blast him with lightning? Yun Ranyan is the Tao of heaven. She can't interfere directly with the tribulation. Everything must follow the rules. But he gave me power to control the tribulation. I'm an anomaly in the Tao. I can mess with the tribulation. I looked at the red-haired man meditating in front of the furnace. He was forming hand seals, injecting formation seals into the sword. I shook my head. Why bother blasting him? Why not let him keep making swords for us? Yun Ranyan paused. I chuckled. Everyone messes up their first immortal sword. You just have to try several times. That's normal, right? Yun Ranyan's eyes lit up. You're so smart, Hu. This is just a different way to make him your personal craftsman. I just happen to know a technique called heart shattering. It interferes with the mind. I'll hit his sea of consciousness while the tribulation descends, and make refining immortal aura his obsession. A thought suddenly came from the void as I spoke. It turned into a secret technique and flowed into my mind. Now I stood above the tribulation, in the same state as the Tao of heaven. Anything Yun Ranyan taught me, I could grasp instantly. Of course, I could only use it here. Back at the furnace, Jiu Yan sighed in relief. He slowly looked up. Dark clouds rolled in the sky. Tribulation clouds roared. He stood up and mumbled softly. The old masters weren't lying. Forging an immortal weapon here always draws a tribulation. Sure enough, the immortal sword's birth is causing this. The final step is tempering with thunder fire. His eyes were full of confidence. Marquis Tianyang has treated me well and gifted me top materials. Back when I messed up with the materials. Today I'll repay him with this sword. Next moment, Jiu Yan formed hand seals. The immortal sword in the furnace let out a shocking sword cry. With a misty sword shadow, it flew into the sky. Thunder boomed as the tribulation came crashing down. The 6-9 tribulation. Jiu Yan smiled when he saw it. This was just as he expected. If this sword can't survive the tribulation, it's not worthy of being called an immortal sword. The 6-9 tribulation includes a heart demon test. A heart demon illusion. Above the clouds, I flicked my finger. A barely noticeable ripple instantly covered the canyon below. Jiu Yan kept his eyes on the sword, which was fighting the thunder. He didn't realize he was already trapped in an illusion. What's happening? Jiu Yan's face suddenly shifted. He was shocked to see cracks forming all over the sword in the thunder. Jagged lines appeared everywhere. Boom! In a flash, the immortal sword shattered in the lightning. It turned to countless glowing sparks and vanished. It really failed. Jiu Yan was devastated. He stood frozen for a long time, completely lost. No, I didn't fail. He snapped his head up. His eyes regained their drive. Only the last step is left. If I succeed in this thunder fire tempering, I'll become the first to forge an immortal sword in the cultivation world. I've always said, in this life, I have to forge true immortal ki. Inside the calamity clouds, I look at the immortal sword in my hand. I can't put it down. The sword is 3 feet long. A misty glow shrouds the whole thing. It's like a thin mist swirling around the blade. Since that's the case, I'll name you Mistlight.
Taking advantage of heavenly tribulation's state.
I fused the Mistlight sword straight into my body. Master, is there any more fortune like this? I rubbed my hands and looked over at Yun Ranran, the void. She's kicking back with her legs crossed. Looks like she's chewing on some dogtail grass. She counts with her fingers. There's still one more. An immortal emperor from the immortal realm. Reincarnated into the cultivation world with memories intact. Now he's searching everywhere for spiritual herbs. To craft the Chaos Return Spirit Pill. To forge a Chaos Spirit Root for himself. Chaos Spirit Root. My eyes lit up instantly. My own Spirit Root is a mutated Thunder-type root. Not bad. But it's not top tier. It's even a notch below Nangong Ki's Supreme Fire Root. Yun Ranran nodded. That reincarnated emperor is a big villain too. He may not be the ultimate villain, but he's your future main enemy. Once his Chaos Return Spirit Pill appears, I'll tell you in advance. For now, your top priority is cultivation. Trigger your heart demon to form your core. Let your heart demon possess a tribulation victim's body, and fight a duel with them. Real combat is the fastest way to improve. Become the heart demon, undying and unending. Endless chances to make mistakes, but every time it's life or death. I nodded hard. My figure instantly appeared at another tribulation. The calamity clouds faded. Wu Yan stood frozen by his forge for a long while. He finally sighed bitterly. Master Wu, you've already done great. Marquis Tianyang walked over to him, gently patting his shoulder. Marquis Tianyang looks like a young man, dressed in a gold and red brocade robe. His gaze at Jiyu Yan is full of obsession. Back when Jiyu Yan was refining qi, he was right there watching. He witnessed the immortal sword shooting straight into the sky, fighting the heavens, and then getting destroyed by the tribulation. That achievement is one of a kind in the entire cultivation world. Master Jiyu, don't take it to heart. It's crazy hard to refine immortal qi. You've already done amazing. Jiyu Yan's eyes are determined. The immortal sword is already forged, just missing the last step, tempering with heavenly tribulation, thunder, and fire. That was the only failure. I already figured out what went wrong. Marquis Tianyang's eyes lit up. If you got another chance, could you do it, Master? Jiyu Yan nodded firmly. I've found the problem. If I get another shot, I'll definitely make immortal qi. Good, said Marquis Tianyang, nodding. Master, come back to my manor with me. I have a top-grade heavenly steel there. You really have heavenly steel? Wu Yan's eyes lit up. Marquis Tianyang just smiled. This heavenly steel and the misty snowstone from before were both given to him by his second son, Nangang Qi. Wu Yan actually joined him for the misty snowstone. Marquis Tianyang's plan is simple. Jiyu Yan's the top blacksmith in Dayu. Even if he can't make immortal qi, he can still forge a supreme flying sword. But what he doesn't know is, refining immortal qi has become Jiyu Yan's obsession. Unless he does it, he won't make any other magical items. And what he also doesn't know is, I'm already watching at the tribulation site. I won't let him succeed with immortal qi. Meanwhile, guided by young Renren, I use the heart demon tribulation transformation. The heart demon takes over a tribulation victim's corpse as the battlefield. And I start hands-on training. My shadow demon self turns into a shadow and quietly leaves Aurora City. 500 miles outside Aurora City is the 30,000-mile-long Jade Cloud Mountain. In the mountains is the biggest Zhuanjing copper mine of the Dayu Kingdom. Xuanjing copper is the main material for flying swords. This mine is co-owned by the Chun family of Yu City, the Lu family of Ice Blue City, and the Zhu family. Cultivators from the Lu family get sent here to mine, turning into demon forms. My demon form sneaks in silently. 300 miles under Jade Cloud Mountain is a natural cave. At its center stands a giant bronze cauldron, the Daluo Sword Cauldron, a super immortal artifact. Right now it's still sleeping. Hasn't awakened yet? In the original plot, tomorrow after I swallow the inborn return spirit pill and forge my immortal root, I'll come to the mine to temper my demon heart. That return spirit pill was actually left by the cauldron's former owner. You need an inborn immortal root to tame this divine artifact. Otherwise, you can't claim this super immortal tool. And as a cultivator, you only get one shot to remake your spirit root in a lifetime. Yan Ranren already got me an even stronger chaos spirit root. So, I have zero plans to take the inborn return spirit pill. My demon form flips my hand, producing a formation scroll. It's Fire Kilin Chan Dakiang's prized killer array. The reverse 5 elements formation scroll. I'm no formation master, but this type is simple enough to set up. As long as you have enough spiritual stones, you can activate it. And with Yan Ranren's guidance on the side. Soon, the reverse 5 elements kill formation is set up near the Daluo Cauldron. Then I take out another stealth array scroll and hide the killer formation. When that's done, the demon form goes silent again, carefully hiding in the dark. Against Nangang Qi, I never let my guard down. He can just pull out 10 million supreme-grade spirit stones, which means he's loaded. In the cultivation world, spirit stones are resources. They're treasures. That soul-leading smoke was supposed to be incurable, but he countered it easily, back at the Lu family. I used a sneak demon attack to catch him off guard, and finally landed a hit. This villain is evil, but he's not weak. Next afternoon, Jade Treasure House auction. There's one incense stick of time left before it begins. Inside the Chun family's VIP suite, The treasure house manager asks me with a smile, "Young Master Chun, what can I do for you?" I casually toss him a shadow stone, something to add to the auction. Manager Wan takes the shadow stone, looking a bit unsure. I grin and tell him to open it. Wan pours in some spiritual power, activating the shadow stone. Next second, the vision of Nangong Qi being tucked under Sikong Zhao's arm and running away in panic pops up in the air. Wan's eyes immediately light up, smirks, and puts away the stone. Nice, this thing's sure to fetch a high price. Yesterday at the Liu family, Nangong Qi splurged 10 million Supreme Spirit Stones to challenge me. Words already out all over Oro City. If he can throw out 10 million once, he can do it again. He's a certified rich sap. I'd be a fool not to take advantage. Twiddling my fingers, I say let this shadow stone be the first auction item. Absolutely no problem. No problem at all. The manager agreed right away. Yu Baojai has never been afraid of offending people in business. Their history goes back even before the Shuxian dynasty. Make several extra copies of this image. After the auction, send them elsewhere to sell. I added one more sentence. The manager blinked, then smiled and said yes immediately. In another private room, Nangong Qi sat calmly on a soft chair. Across from her was a woman in old gray clothes, with messy gray hair, her face hard to see. Her voice was dry and hoarse. She spoke slowly, like she hadn't talked to anyone in a long time. Will you really help me get that 7-color heavenly spirit grass? Nangong Qi smiled. I, Nangong Qi, always keep my word. The woman nodded silently. If you get the 7-color heavenly spirit grass, I'll make pills for you for 100 years. That grass is top-grade spiritual herb, and one of today's auction items. Whether it's the herb or the innate rebirth pill, Nangong Qi is determined to get them. He may have spent 10 million high-grade spirit stones yesterday, but with the system, spirit stones are the last thing he worries about. Just then, the Yu Baojai auction officially began. Here is the first auction item. On stage, a man in a bright red robe spoke with a smile. A shadow stone. Cultivators below immediately started talking. Auctioning a shadow stone? Could it be a secret map or a rare technique? Anything that makes it into a Yu Baojai auction is treasure. In past years, shadow stones at auction were either cultivation techniques or mystical maps, or footage of secret locations. The man pointed at the shadow stone. A scene of Nangong Qi suddenly appeared, right in front of everyone. A funny clip of Lord Tianyang. Let the bidding begin. Starting price, 1 low-grade spirit stone. At first, the whole room was quiet. Then everyone burst out laughing. In the upstairs room, Nangong Qi coughed up blood on the spot. Yesterday, I made Nangong Qi, the Lord's son, run away embarrassed. That story already spread through all of Aurora City. No one expected. The first auction item at Yu Baojai today would be his embarrassing shadow stone clip. The serious auction got loud in a second. Laughter filled the hall. A shadow stone of Lord Tianyang. I'll bid 2 low-grade spirit stones. 6 low-grade stones. Nangong Qi's face turned as dark as a pot. He glared furiously in my direction.
He knew exactly who did this.
I was behind it. The bids just got louder. Someone joked. They should put the shadow stone as a sign for Nanfeng Pavilion. Others said they'd sell it in the capital. After all, Nangong Qi is a fire element genius. That line shot the price up to 10 high-grade stones. Soon, Nangong Qi couldn't take it anymore. He yelled, 1 million. High-grade spirit stones. The room went silent. Then everybody laughed even louder. Everyone recognized his voice. Truly someone from the capital. The Lord really has money. He just paid 10 million yesterday to young Master Chun. Now he's spending 1 million to buy his own shadow stone. But it didn't stop there. A few of my troublemaker friends joined in to annoy him, bidding up by 1 low-grade stone each. 1 million high-grade stones, plus 1 low-grade stone. Add 2 more. Not much actual damage, but totally humiliating. Lan Gongqi's face turned green. Gnashing his teeth, he kept raising the bid, bidding up from 2 to 5 million. Finally, no one is following. He let out a long sigh, thinking he finally won this trash. As he crushed the memory stone, he glared at the waiter, warning, "Don't let this show up again." But the waiter just replied, "I'm afraid that's not possible." The auctioneer's voice rang out. Next item up for bid. HD fail Jeef of the young Marquis. Starting bid 1 low-grade stone. The projection started, and it was even clearer than the last. From an even more awkward angle. The whole place went wild. Everyone's calling me ruthless. I leaned back and touched my chin, laughing to myself. Someone said, "Send him to the brothel." That's a brilliant idea. Glad I made several copies? Just auctioning it isn't enough. I want to gross him out and take all his money. Nangong Qi was fuming, clenching his fists until they popped. The woman in gray was stunned. "I think you're being played," she said. She didn't even need to say it. Nangong Qi knew it himself, but he had no choice. He bid another 5 million. High-grade stones. He bought the second stone too. His face twitched as he crushed it. He asked if there was a third. The waiter said no. Only then did he let go. But the main event was just starting. The third item appeared soon. A sealed ancient pill, identified as a jade spirit pill, starting at 3,000. High-grade spirit stones. But only I knew the truth. It looks like a jade spirit pill, but it's actually an innate spirit pill. In the original story, Nangong Qi uses his system to steal this pill from me and plunder my luck. I quickly asked Master Yang Ranran, "If I don't bid, Master, can he still steal my luck?" Her voice was sweet and clear. She replied instantly, "The system relies on stealing. If you don't fight, it's not yours. You won't be able to touch it." I sighed in relief, then turned. "Old Zhu!" I yelled to the other booth. "It's your turn now." Zhu Yanqi of Ice Blue City, Master 7 of the Zhu family. One of my best friends. The Zhu family are big fish, the richest in the empire. Owner of 81 spirit mines. No one outspends him. With him, Qi won't get a bargain. In the auction hall, the price hit 8,000 fast, and it kept climbing. Nangong Qi stared at my booth, looking completely confused. He must be thinking, why hasn't he moved? Based on his system's plot, I should have bid first. Even his system was baffled. It said I won big yesterday, thinking I might not need the pill, or that I'd bid at the last second. Nangong Qi was choked up, thinking of yesterday's loss. He was getting furious. 100,000, he shouted. High-grade spirit stones. The room went silent again. That price just tripled. It's clear he's determined. But my friends started mocking him. That pill's worth 50,000 max. Young Marquis can lose his face, but he can't be out of cash. What's 100,000? He spent 10 million for his video. Amidst the laughter, the auctioneer began the count. At 100,000. As he was about to say thrice, Zhu Yanqi's voice drifted out, echoing through the hall. 200,000. The crowd gasped. Everyone knew Master 7 was here. The famous spendthrift, who burns money like water. Nangong Qi was stunned. Zhu wasn't in his system's files. He begged the system to recheck. It cost him 300 points. Turned out I won big yesterday. Took 10 million stones. And invited Zhu to celebrate. He dug this hole himself. 210,000. Nangong Qi raised the bid.
He didn't dare add too much.
Afraid of showing his hand. Broke loser, Zhu said coldly. 310,000. We'll see who's broke. Nangong Qi added 10,000 more. But Zhu didn't waste any time. He jumped straight to 400, then 500. Back and forth they went. The price soon passed 1 million. Others noticed something was off. If they're fighting this hard, it's no ordinary jade pill. Everyone started bidding. The price skyrocketed. I watched comfortably from my booth. The more people join in, the more Nangong Qi has to pay. The pill will be his in the end. He's the richest, after all, and obsessed with that pill. Sure enough, he bid 100 million for that spiked ancient pill. When that price was called, the whole place went silent. Nangong Qi looked at Zhu's booth and sneered. Broke loser. Zhu Yanqi just shrugged and gave up the bidding. He can spend money, but he didn't need to overdo it. The goal was already achieved, which was making him bleed money. 110 million. High-grade spirit stones. What he spent in 2 days. He became the pavilion's top VIP. He gave the VIP token to the woman in gray, Mo Zhu, clearly trying to please the fairy. Nangong Qi was overjoyed, not noticing Mo Zhu's frown. He only thought of refining it, to build an immortal root, and get the ultimate sword's nod. Following the system's prompt, he broke the seal. Seeing the glowing green pill, system said it's non-toxic, and the properties are fine. He didn't even think. He swallowed it whole. I kept my eyes on his booth, feeling a bit nervous. I asked my master again, "Master, the trick I played, the system won't find out, right?" Master sounded very confident. "Don't worry, my disciple. I have the heavens backing. That system can't detect a thing." Only then was I truly relieved. I thought of the 3 yin water. 1 drop gives you the runs for days. I used an entire bottle. I wonder how long he'll be stuck. Master and I shared a silent smile, waiting for the show. The auction continued. Suddenly, a strange noise came from Nangong Qi's private box. Then a series of low, rumbling booms followed. A faint, nasty smell started to drift out. The weird farting noises just kept going. Everyone in the hall was shocked. People held their noses, looking at each other in confusion. What kind of sound is that? That can't just be a fart. Why is there water too? Don't tell me he just pooped himself. Nangong Qi inside was completely stunned. His chair shattered into pieces. He collapsed on the floor first. Then a violent force blasted him into the air. He finally landed face down. He looked like a human fountain. He and the floor were covered in filth. Maksu saw it coming. She hid to the side under her energy shield. Otherwise, she'd have gotten hit for sure. Nangong Qi's face went ghostly pale.
His lips trembled.
He couldn't even speak a full sentence. His stomach kept making weird noises.
He had zero control over his body.
He tried to hold it in, but all he could do was blast it out. He couldn't do anything else. Even his system was confused. It took a long time to scan. The power of the innate spirit-returning pill is reconstructing the host's spiritual root. In half an hour, his top-tier fire spiritual root will become a water spiritual root. Host is not poisoned. Water spiritual root. Nangong Qi screamed his lungs out. How can a spiritual root have an element? A spiritual root should be neutral or all elements. He used to have the perfect fire spiritual root. All his techniques are fire-based. Now it's all ruined. He was too upset.
He lost his last bit of sanity.
Everything came pouring out at once. The filth shot up into the air. It sprayed everywhere like a fountain. That was it for Maksu. She couldn't hold back anymore. She broke through the formation and ran out. This time, that awful stench filled the whole auction house instantly. The auctioneer in the red robe started to gag right there. Everyone saw exactly what was going on in the box. Just now, he was still all high and mighty. That was the Marquis of Tianyang who threw around billions of spirit stones. But now he was lying on the floor, as pathetic as it gets, and I was just sitting in my box watching it all happen. Man, it felt so good. That's what you get for messing with me. This was one smelly auction. As soon as the formation opened up, that indescribable stench came pouring right out into the whole auction hall. The boxes with formations were fine. The cultivators in the hall took the worst of it. Many people didn't react in time, took in a breath, and turned green on the spot. They quickly sealed their noses and mouths with spiritual energy. The manager and supervisor of Jade Treasure Pavilion fought through the stench, rushed to Nangong Qi's box. I watched from afar as the filth in his box was already ankle deep. It was even leaking out the door. They spoke to Nangong Qi, politely asking if he was okay. After all, he just spent 1.1 billion top-grade spirit stones. But they only dared to stand by the door. They couldn't go in, and couldn't back out either. Nangong Qi was still spraying filth everywhere. The force and amount just kept growing. The fountain was about to turn into a waterfall. Suddenly, Nangong Qi shouted like crazy. "It was you! It had to be you!" I pinched my nose, and looked at him with a wicked grin. "Me? What did I do?" "You must have tampered with that pill. Otherwise, why didn't you bid on it?" I snorted. That doesn't make any sense. Just because I didn't bid doesn't mean I did anything. There were a ton of other people who didn't bid either. No sooner had I finished, Luzi spoke up too. "Yeah, exactly. I didn't bid either. Why don't you say I did something?" Zhu Yanxi joined in, his voice full of disgust for ancient forbidden seal pills. Without a proper alchemist's appraisal, how could you just eat it like that? You're just being foolish. You got poisoned by the pill. And now you're blaming someone else. Mozu had already run far from the booth. Even she added, "That was really dumb." Nangong Ki was lying in a pile of yellowish filth, still puking nonstop. He looked like he wished he could just die. He was screaming at his system in his head. But the system said it was a side effect of forging the immortal spiritual root. He asked if I'd gone through this too, but the system went silent. So he just came up with his own theory.
He figured this pill was a protagonist's fortune.
So anyone else would get side effects? Plus, he was at the nascent soul stage, but now he was nearly wiped out. He couldn't even move, about to drown in filth. His nascent soul and true energy were locked up by some strange force, so he couldn't budge at all. The auction had to stop immediately. Nobody could stand the smell. Yubo Zai's staff had no clue what to do with him. No one wanted their energy or magical items to get contaminated with that filth. They even planned to seal off that entire booth forever. Everyone there took out their recording stones, capturing every second of this mess. Nangong Ki couldn't hold out any longer. He yelled, "1,000,000 top-grade spirit stones. Whoever can get me out, they're yours." With a big reward. Someone actually tried. A big dude in the late gold core stage stepped forward. He slapped over a dozen defensive talismans on himself, sealed his mouth, grabbed his jade sword, and went into the booth. But he crawled back out in minutes, screaming in pain, yelling that even the poop was poisonous. His talismans and flying sword were totally corroded. He collapsed, vomiting all over. Now no one dared to go near. Nangong Ki got so mad he coughed up blood. Tears streamed down his face. He regretted it so much he could hardly stand it. Right then, his system spoke up.
He could use 300 points to speed up the forging of his immortal spiritual root.
He instantly told the system to do it. After about 15 minutes, he finally could move and stopped puking. He crawled out of the filth, covered head to toe in nastiness. Screaming, he hopped on his sword and shot for the exit. But as soon as he powered up, another hot blast shot out from his backside. He didn't care anymore, just wanted to escape fast. As he flew low, he left a trail of filth behind him. The crowd went wild, everyone running for dear life. Anyone who got hit was totally miserable. Not only did it stink, it was corrosive too. Hair, skin, even robes got eaten away. The whole place turned into chaos, screams and cursing everywhere. Nangong Ki flew and sprayed filth half across Aurora City. Nearly half the city got trashed. Yubo Zai's staff rushed to clean the place up. They decided to move that booth out and burn it. This auction was totally ruined. Both the Qianyang Marquis's family and Nangong Ki's reputation were done for. They'll never shake this disgusting nickname their whole life. While chaos broke loose here, Yubo Zai's big boss Ju Tiansong personally brought 10 million top-grade spirit stones to my booth. Luzi, Zhu Yunqi, and I were just watching the chaos outside. Cracking up, Ju Tiansong handed me a storage ring. That was the money from my consigned items. He didn't even take a handling fee. He clearly wanted to show me respect. I pushed the ring back. "Senior, I want the 7-color sky profound grass. These spirit stones are payment for it." Zhu Tiansong was surprised, but he immediately put the ring back in my hand. He smiled and said the 7-color sky profound grass was a gift. Right then, he messaged his manager to deliver the grass. I didn't get formal, just took the grass and told him, if he ever needed anything in Aurora City, just ask me. Zhu Tiansong jumped on it, said Yubo Zai wanted to open a new branch in the inner city. But good land was hard to find. I got what he meant right away. The Liu family had just been busted by the Chuns, and their land was sitting empty. So I said I'd send over the deed soon. Zhu Tiansong insisted on paying market price, but I waved it off and said it's a gift. We laughed together, and he left totally satisfied. Just as he stepped out, somebody knocked on the booth's barrier. I made a shushing motion, put the 7-color sky profound grass in the most obvious spot, and opened the array. A gray-robed, gray-haired woman entered. It was Mozu. She spotted the 7-color sky profound grass instantly and froze in shock. I stood up, greeted her formally. Junior Chen Zhao greets Senior Mozu. The moment I finished, Luzi and Zhu Yunqi jumped out of their seats, shouting, "Pill immortal." The two of them really didn't expect this plain-looking woman was actually a top alchemist of the immortal world. Even Mozu was stunned. She'd gone through all that trouble to disguise herself, but still got recognized. Quickly, her attention locked onto the 7-color sky profound grass again. She said seriously, I came for the 7-color sky profound grass. Chan, can you part with it? I looked at her. If Senior Mozu wants it, I'm more than happy to give it. I only have one condition. Go ahead. If Senior could be a guest elder of my Chun family, then not just the 7-color sky profound grass. I'd help you find even rarer elixirs. For you as well. Mozu thought for a minute, then agreed. She said she could stay in the Liuli immortal realm for 100 years at most. I smiled and replied, even after 100 years, you'll still be a guest elder. Then I handed her the 7-color sky profound grass with both hands. Luzi and Zhu Yunqi stood off to the side, totally stunned, then finally realized. My real goal from the start wasn't this elixir, but to have the legendary pill Immortal's support. Meanwhile, Lan Gongqi was hiding outside Aurora City with a secret formation, looking completely shattered.
His water-type immortal spiritual root was finally built,
Even breaking through to the early spirit severing stage. But the catch was, every time he activated his true energy, no matter for practice or fighting,
his backside would just erupt again.
nothing could stop it. Even his system couldn't figure out why. All it could suggest was, go seize the Daluo Sword Summit to break this backlash. That finally put Lan Gongqi at ease a bit. But now he hated me deeply and swore he'd pay me back 100 times over. But the moment he got worked up, his true energy moved, and his backside went off again. He froze in place. Then he thought of Sekong Zhao. Sekong Zhao should have gone to the Chun family to save Zhao Yuqing, then met up with him. But there was still no word. The system said Sekong Zhao probably ran into trouble. He suggested going to Yuxia Mountain to retrieve the Daluo sword essence first, plus the Great Cloud Empress and the 3 immortal sects. We're getting ready to target the 8 great clans. The Chan family was first up. As long as Chun Fengyang failed his tribulation, the Chan clan would be finished. Lan Gongqi finally relaxed a bit. He then thought of Mozu, but just gave up right away. After all, Mozu had seen all his humiliations. Now he didn't even have the courage to face her. He rested for a while, then washed up and changed clothes. Too scared to meet anyone, stumbled my way toward Yuxia Mountain, afraid I'd turn into a human fountain again. Meanwhile, I took Luzi, Zhu Yunqi, and Moxu back to the Chun family. All along the way, people kept talking about Nangong Qi, saying he was flying around, spreading filth all over from the sky. Almost made it rain all over Aurora City. Word about Yubao Pavilion spread through the whole city too. Lan Gongqi's become the joke of Aurora City now. As soon as I entered the Chun family gate, I yelled for Elder Chun Wengsu, told him I brought in a visiting expert for the Chuns. Elder Chun Wengsu hurried over. He saw Moxu looking all dusty and gray. He just stared, stunned. When I said it was the pill immortal Moxu, he was so shocked his voice went up several notches. His eyes went wide in disbelief. Moxu casually brushed off her sleeve, taking off her disguise. Wearing a deep green dress, with long black hair like a cloud. Absolutely stunning. No doubt it was the legendary pill Immortal Moxu. Chun Wengsu looked like he'd just been hit by a pie from the sky, totally dazed.
He quickly made arrangements for Moxu himself.
Even Moxu seemed satisfied when she looked at me. Yan Ranran's voice rang by my ear. Disciple, you're seriously awesome. I thought you just used 3 yin sacred water to deal with Nangong Qi. Didn't expect Moxu was your real target. I grinned wide. I'm your disciple, after all. He said he'd come to Aurora City in 2 days. Master and apprentice teaming up to take out the ultimate villain. Before I could answer, Luzi and Zhu Yunqi surrounded me. Luzi asked how I managed to lure the pill immortal to the Chuns. Zhu Yunqi wanted to know if I really called them over just to celebrate. I put my arms around them and smiled. How is it not a celebration? Didn't you guys notice I reached Foundation Establishment? Getting the pill Immortal Elder was just luck. Then I said we should go celebrate my success. Plus, I made 20 million high-grade spirit stones. Dragged the 2 of them out with me. Chan Daqiang followed along behind. On the way, Luzi asked how I got involved with Nangong Qi. I said he came looking for trouble first. Zhu Yunqi frowned and asked, is the royal capital targeting the cultivation clans now? I nodded. They immediately grew serious. Before long, the 3 of us arrived at Iron Bull Beef Noodles. I went in and shouted for the boss. 3 bowls of noodles, please. No scallions. The owner was a dark-skinned guy. When he saw us, his face changed a bit, but he still warmly led us to a table. I whispered to Luzi and Zhu Yunqi. That boss was looking at us funny. Bet he put scallions in anyway. They wondered since when I stopped eating scallions. Soon enough, the boss brought the noodles over. Luzi took one look and saw there were no scallions at all. Joked that my guess was off. I looked at the noodles in front of me, and my face turned cold. With a cold smirk, I said, I don't eat beef. As soon as I finished, I flipped the table and slapped the owner right away. He never saw the attack coming. He froze for a second. Then his eyes flashed viciously. Since you came looking for trouble, I'll just deal with you 3 troublemakers first. A moment later, he unleashed a terrifying power fit for a nascent soul cultivator. Luzi and Zhu Yunqi immediately felt the threat of death. That oppressive aura hadn't even spread yet when my big red dog leapt from my feet, slamming him to the ground. His nascent power was instantly suppressed. I kicked him in the face. I already said, I don't eat beef. And you still dared serve me beef? Are you sick of living? The cultivators nearby scrambled away. No one dared to get involved. After all, I'm basically the street boss of Aurora City, with Luzi and Zhu Yunqi by my side. These 2 living legends. Both Luzi and Zhu Yunqi were sweating bullets. Han Zhu Yunqi reacted right away. I'm not here for noodles at all. I'm here to cause trouble. He kicked out at once too, shouting, Hey kid, I want scallions. Why didn't you add scallions? Meanwhile, Luzi stared directly at Chun Daqiang. Looking shocked, he asked old Chun, Where did you get this dog? After all, just a dog could pin down a nascent soul cultivator like that. That's wild. I looked smug and said, His name is Chun Daqiang. The Chun family, big and strong. Chun Daqiang is a good name. Luzi smirked.
He mumbled, Maybe I'll go find a Lu Dazhuang someday.
The Lu family, big and mighty. Then, I kicked the noodle shop owner's face hard. Luzi and Zhu Yunqi joined in. The 3 spoiled brats looked excited, teaming up to kick the nascent soul noodles boss. This kind of thrill isn't easy to find. In outsiders' eyes, we were just bullying with status, picking on weaker cultivators. One doesn't eat beef, one doesn't eat noodles, and one shouts for scallions. Yet we came to the beef noodles shop to mess around. Soon, the noodles boss was all bruised up. He lay on the ground barely hanging on. The bruises, that was us. The near death? That was fire killin'. We left the noodle shop in ruins. What you staring at? Aren't you gonna leave? Luzi yelled at the onlookers from afar. The 3 of us came without our followers. But our reputation for violence was enough. All the cultivators on the street scattered instantly. Luzi felt satisfied, about to kick again when suddenly, Chun Daqiang's voice sounded in my head, Master. The ground below is hollow. There's a huge teleportation array underground. As a killin', I'm a top-tier beast. My senses are way sharper than cultivators of the same level. I quickly found the spot in the noodle shop. Key thing, this array can send up to 10,000 people at once. The Heavenly Book says, whether in the original plot or after it was changed. On the day my ancestor Chun Fengyang faces his tribulation, the Shan clan will get surrounded by a huge mob of unknown cultivators here at Iron Ox. This beef noodle shop is one spot where they first show up. With a blank face, I said, Destroy it, Master. The fire killin' turned into a flash of flame, burrowed underground, and wrecked the teleport array. He even buried the whole space below. Then he came back out. Done with that. The 3 of us left the shop. Chun Daqiang carried the unconscious noodle boss in his teeth behind us.
He might be nascent soul level.
Can't let that go to waste. But the moment we stepped out, an old man in a gray robe, limping and hunched, stepped in my way. He glanced at Chun Daqiang and the boss in his mouth. He said to me meaningfully, Young man, let things go when you can. Otherwise, disaster will come for you. The old man's voice was raspy, but surprisingly loud. It echoed like a great bell in my ears. I was stunned for a second, then laughed and said, Old man, why don't you tell me? Whose disaster for whom here? The old man raised his brow. Without another word, he slashed a gray sword light at me. Woof, woof, woof. The sword light just appeared, and Chun Daqiang started barking. A terrifying pressure burst out, heating up the air around us. The sword glow was shattered by fire instantly. It's a divine beast. The old man's face changed. Now he finally understood how the nascent soul noodles boss was beaten by me. Turns out, I've got a divine beast with me. But the old man reacted fast. Despite his limp, he pushed off the ground, jumping back. He formed seals with his hands, and a shroud of black mist surrounded him. Inside the mist, a huge shadow of a black python twisted. It's a spirit manifestation. Next moment, the python came lunging out the mist, biting down at me. But Chun Dakyang already let go of. The noodle shop boss jumped in front of me and swallowed the spirit form in one bite. That's a top divine beast. But it's a dog. The old man looked shocked and furious in the mist, totally confused. As a late-stage nascent soul expert, he'd seen all kinds of things, but never heard of a dog as a top divine beast. He figured it was some kind of mutant breed. While he hesitated, Chun Dakyang dived into the black mist. Boom, a loud blast. The black mist scattered. Chun Dakyang pinned the old man to the ground by his chest. No matter how hard he struggled, it didn't work. Now his eyes were full of fear. A peak nascent soul-level divine beast. How could a place like Aurora City have this thing? A peak nascent soul divine beast. Even a late tribulation expert wouldn't stand a chance against that. We didn't go looking for you, but you came to us yourself. I looked at the limping old man on the ground, grinning wickedly. This old man is an inner elder of Zhuanshan's sect, Wei Ju. He and the noodle boss changed the story. In the original, my ancestor Chun Fangyang failed his tribulation and died. Wei Ju took advantage, killed 5 of the Chun family elders, and broke our backbone. I hated him since I learned the story. Didn't expect him to come to me himself, so of course I'm not holding back. First, a beating. I rushed over and kicked his good leg hard. My killin's power suppressed his energy, so he could only thrash and roar, but couldn't break free. Seeing that, Luzi grinned, chuckling. If a cripple only has one bad leg, is he really a cripple? With both legs gone, that's a real cripple. Saying that,
He pulled out a giant spiked club from his storage ring.
nearly as thick as a guy's arm and about 10 feet long. Old Chun, move aside. He swung the club right at Wei Ju's good leg. I jumped in shock and quickly moved away. Bang! Crack! The club smashed into Wei Ju's only good leg. A shrill scream rang out. His good leg was completely messed up. Luzi was thrilled watching. He might only be at Foundation establishment, but the club's a top-tier weapon, with Wei Ju's power suppressed, and his energy sealed. No matter how tough his body was, he couldn't handle that hit. Luzi, give it to him. Zhu Yunqi snatched the club and smashed it down on that leg again. Bang! This time, Wei Ju's last good leg was totally trashed. His howls echoed through the empty street. Cultivators who ran off earlier heard it and shivered. They were glad they escaped fast. Glad they didn't mess with us. Wei Chu lay on the ground, foaming at the mouth, with his only good leg totally ruined. Old Chun, who the heck is this guy? Zhu Yanqi looked at Wei Ju on the ground. His expression keeps changing. The noodle shop owner is just at the early nascent soul stage. But this old man is definitely late nascent soul. Among cultivators, he's at the tribulation stage. He needs to face heavenly tribulation. He won't act easily. Late nascent soul is top-tier fighting power. Heads of the 8 great clans. Leaders of the 3 great immortal sects. They all have that cultivation. I kicked Wei Ju in the face again and sneered. This is Zhuanshan sect's elder, Wei Ju.
He's undercover in my Aurora City.
Waiting to mess things up when our ancestor faces tribulation. Wei Ju heard this, and his heart sank. Zhuanshan's sect's setup in Aurora City is totally exposed now. I noticed his reaction. Gestured at Chun Dakyang with my chin. Chun Dakyang stepped on his face, knocked him out right away. Luzi was a bit slow to react, but finally got it now. So this is an immortal sect stronghold. They're about to make a move on us cultivator families. So what about our Yuzhang side? Zunyan 7 also looked at me worried. I nodded. It's not just the immortal sects making a move. The Empress of the Dayu cultivation dynasty is involved too. In the altered script from the Heavenly Book, after the Chun family was destroyed, Yu Cheng's Lu family and Binglan City's Zhu family were wiped out too. That's why I called the 2 of them here. The three big northern clans are the local tycoons of Dayu Beijing. If they don't see Chen family being plotted against, the enemy could show up at their doorstep, and they'd still think it's just a minor scuffle. Anyway, you guys don't need to worry. Our ancestor is about to face tribulation. These people plan to attack during tribulation. As long as Chen family stands, no one can harm your families. I spoke lightly, but Zhu Lianxi and Lu Zi couldn't stay calm. They're spoiled kids, but not heartless. No mood to catch up anymore. They left Aurora City right away. Used the teleport array to get back to their families. After they left, I went back to the Chen home. In Aurora City, there's still another strong fighter as powerful as Wei Ju. But since Wei Ju got captured, that guy is definitely alert now. Showing up now.
Is basically asking to die?
Back at the Chen house, I personally threw the noodle shop owner and Wei Ju into the Forbidden's area. In the same cell, Zhao Yuqing is still locked up, blindfolded, and Sikong Zhao who came to rescue him. All four are chained to pillars. Can't move at all? I clicked my tongue at Sikong Zhao. You dare break into a Forbidden's area created by an immortal? Should I say you're clueless or fearless? If you don't have the token for Chen family's Forbidden's area, anyone under immortal level will be restricted. So, I never worry about Zhao Yuqing getting rescued. Chen Zhao and Zhao Yuqing heard me, just about to speak, but only heard my footsteps walking away. He must feel bitter inside. Probably regrets listening to outsiders. He betrayed me, and betrayed Chen family too. We grew up together, childhood friends. At night I sat cross-legged on my bed. Thunder rumbled in my ears. I'm already above the heavenly tribulation. Last night I fought my inner demons in the tribulation, and battled 81 transforming beasts. My cultivation didn't grow, but my real combat skills improved a ton. I used to be a spoiled kid who'd never seen blood. My fighting was just rough street brawling. Now, under the heavenly tribulation, there's a black phoenix going through its transformation tribulation. A mutated super divine beast from eternal hell. The fire phoenix is even stronger than the fire kiln. This divine beast is unbelievably powerful. Its talent, hell. Within the flames lies a real hell. Rejected by heaven and earth. Bloodline is rare. Undergo tribulation and transform. 9 times out of 10, it ends in death. Even if you somehow succeed, you'll carry an irreparable wound, destined to never live forever, and can't become an immortal. That phoenix was 10 yards long. Red feathers and black scales. Right now it's crawling on the ground, shivering all over. A clear girl's voice with a sob rang in my ear. Oh my, the heaven's punishment eye. Grandpa wasn't lying after all. Eternal hellfire phoenixes can never transform. Heavenly doll, please. I really don't know what bad karma I had last life. That made me reincarnate as an eternal hellfire phoenix this time. But I've truly been good this life. Did my best as a bird. Begging heavenly Tao to give me a chance. Let a piece of my soul reincarnate. I'll be a proper sparrow next life. I promise not to be a divine beast. I was stunned on the spot. Eternal hellfire phoenix. Master, is this my new little brother you found for me? Yan Ranran spoke, sounding proud. Yep, it's the only mutated super beast in the immortal domain in 1,000,000 years. Only one of these ever appears. This little phoenix fights better than a fire kiln. I swallowed nervously. Legend has it the eternal hellfire phoenix is a forbidden's defiant beast heaven can't accept. Yan Ranran nodded. Back in the ancient era, an eternal hellfire phoenix reached immortal king level to become an immortal emperor. It used hellfire to refine the whole immortal realm. Millions upon millions of immortals vanished to nothing. In the end, struck dead by chaos heaven's punishment. The whole clan got blacklisted by heaven. Forbiddens to become immortal. Forbiddens from eternal life. But now your master is in charge of heavenly tribulations. Heaven's punishments are up to you. Whether it succeeds depends on us. We can decide with just a word. Yan Ranran grinned slyly. Suddenly, I felt excited. Fire Kalin, the top divine beast, still exists in the world of cultivation. But this eternal hellfire phoenix is probably the only one left. Even in the immortal realm, I wanted to test the little phoenix as a heart demon. But seeing it lying down, with its head buried under its wings, ready to die quietly, it didn't even try to resist. So I gave up that idea. Boom! Purple gold thunder wrapped together, formed a huge hand reaching from the clouds, caught the little phoenix in one grab, pulled it back into the clouds. Little phoenix lay in the tribulation clouds, staring at me in shock. I wore a jade-colored robe, with a purple gold hair crown. It looked confused. Why? Why is there a person in the heavenly tribulation? All right. I actually survived the tribulation. The next second, the little phoenix transformed into a girl about 17 or 18. Her features were delicate, bright and striking. Long black hair reaching her waist, wearing a fiery red dress, standing lively in front of me. But in a blink she turned back into a phoenix. Feels way better as a bird. Only then did she react. She screamed, "Oh my, heavenly Tao Lord," for eternal hellfire phoenixes, unless heaven agrees. It's impossible to pass the tribulation. Inherited memories say. Ancestors tried everything to succeed. Even with immortal emperors helping, they still couldn't escape chaos punishment. But heaven's Tao in front of me is just a youth. I shook my head. I'm not heaven's Tao Lord. I'm a disciple of heaven's Tao. Heaven's Tao Junior Lord. Right, Chen Zhao is my disciple. Yan Renren spoke with the power of heaven's Tao. Little Phoenix instantly bowed again. Will you swear loyalty to my disciple and become his bird? I couldn't help my awkward feelings. Become my bird? That just sounds so weird. Little Phoenix's eyes lit up in a flash. Yes. Willing, Feng Zcu of the Phoenix clan. Greets heaven's Tao Lord. Greets heaven's Tao Junior Lord. I opened my mouth. Feng Zchu it is. I was gonna call her Chen Da Zhuang. But Luzi said he wanted a Lu Da Zhuang, so I let him have that name. Besides, this phoenix is female and can turn into a beautiful woman. Da Zhuang doesn't sound very fitting. Yan Renren nodded in satisfaction, shared heaven's Tao power, and sent Feng Zchu to the Chen family to be with Chen Da Kong. Then he waved his hand. Heaven's Tao power flowed. I left the heavenly tribulation and entered the endless stars. Yan Renren still looked the same, wearing a pure white long dress, with cloud-like black hair, absolutely stunning looks, sitting on a swing made of starlight.
Tonight,
Master will really teach you divine skills. When I heard that, my eyes instantly lit up. Since I became Heavenly Tao's disciple, I only learned the 9 heavens thunder and Yuji Tianjing, not a single divine skill. Last night during the heart demon trial and monster fight, I only used basic sword technique. As for Chen family skills, I was too lazy to even cultivate before, much less learn them. Peerless sword eye. Yan Renren tapped gently. A streak of light entered my forehead, spreading in my mind. My eyes started hurting. A blank white filled my vision. The next moment, whoosh. My gaze focused. 2 streaks of sword light shot out from my eyes. Straight for 10 yards. When the sword light faded, my eyes were normal again. This peerless sword eye. I swallowed nervously. Yan Renren nodded. Whoever you glare at dies. Sword light from your eyes. Kills in silence. My eyes shone even brighter. Master, do you have other divine skills? Yan Renren's face turned serious. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Master will teach you more after you get the hang of this. Go train now,
he said, flicking his sleeve, ready to send me back.
I quickly called out. Wait. Hey, Master. This is a gift for you from your disciple. I took out a table of food and drinks from my storage ring. Set it before Yan Renren. I had heard him swallow before. I knew he craved human food, but he couldn't leave his heavenly Tao form. And ordinary people can't reach the Tao realm. He could only look. Just drool over it. Kid, you have a conscience. Lin Renren is heavenly Tao, but he can eat and drink. He accepted the food, waved to send me away, sat down to enjoy it, tasting slowly at the table. He didn't care about spirit energy or medicinal value. As long as it tastes good, fine by him. In the immortal domain, immortal realm, cultivation world, and mortal world, countless worlds. At every moment, beasts undergo tribulation and transform. The ones I choose to challenge are always the most powerful demon beasts. When divine beasts transcend tribulation and take human form, they're at least at the nascent soul stage. My training method is to use a heart demon tribulation clone. My heart demon dives into the beast's consciousness. Then, with demonic power, I suppress their cultivation to match mine. And then I fight them. For these beasts going through tribulation, this is extremely dangerous. A heart demon trial is a real life or death fight. So they unleash their full power, sometimes even beyond their normal limits. For me, it's a true life and death test too. If my heart demon is killed, I won't die, but I can really feel the pain and despair before death. If I go out looking for opportunities now, the villain who knows the script will definitely set traps along the way. So it's better to get stronger here during the tribulation first. Once I'm powerful enough, I'll face the villain head on. That night, during the heavenly tribulation, I officially started training my first heavenly Tao power, Peerless Sword Child. By dawn, the sky was starting to lighten in the east. Meanwhile, Leng Gongqi pushed forward with his raw power, racing the whole way. He finally reached the foot of Yuxia Mountain. Looking up at the towering mountain, he let out a sigh of relief. Didn't expect that after all that running. My physical strength actually improved a bit. Supreme immortal energy. Great Luo is almost depleted. Right, beneath this mountain. His eyes lit up, though he still hesitated. He asked the system if there would be any issues this time. After the system scanned, there were no signs of life near the Great Luo Sword Cauldron. The key to opening the cauldron is your own celestial root. Without the celestial root, even the protagonist can't get the sword cauldron. Plus, right now the Chosen One has no way to find this place. Lan Gongqi slapped a burrowing talisman on himself. With a pop, he dove into the mountain. Following the system's guidance, he quickly reached the deepest part under Yuxia Mountain and found the Great Luo Sword Cauldron. After changing into clean clothes, he stood before the cauldron holding a luminous pearl. The pearl's light illuminated the 6 jang tall red cauldron. 1 lid, 2 handles, 3 legs, echoing the Tao's creation. 1 gives birth to 2, 2 makes 3, and 3 gives rise to all things. But now the Great Luo Sword Cauldron was lifeless, no different from the surrounding rocks. It was buried 300 miles underground, shielded by a natural barrier. No wonder no one found it all this time. Nangong Qi muttered to himself, if not for the system's prompt. Even if the cauldron was right in front of me, I wouldn't recognize it. He took a deep breath and asked the system what to do next. Just channel your true energy and refine it. Nangong 7 nodded, placing his hand on the cauldron's leg. With a rumble, his true energy surged inside him. But at the same time, a grayish-yellow fountain spurted out from behind him. Nangong Qi system. Don't worry, host. Once you successfully refine the Great Luo Cauldron, you'll inherit the Great Luo Sword Sovereign's legacy and resolve the backlash from your celestial root. Nangong Qi clenched his jaw. His energy was flowing faster and faster, desperately channeling the water element. The water behind his celestial root gushed even more, soon turning him into a human fountain. But he ignored it and focused fully on refining the sword cauldron. As more energy entered, the cauldron trembled slightly. A gentle blue glow started to shine on the surface, like a giant beast slowly waking up, and in the shadows where the light couldn't reach. My demon incarnation is just standing by with arms crossed. Lan Gongqi has reached the divine transformation stage. I'm not surprised at all. In the altered plot, he breaks through thanks to an innate spirit returning pill. I just added a little extra in the pill, but didn't ruin its core effect. Otherwise, even that villain system, which the Tao itself fears, would definitely notice. Though Master said, until the villain system's energy runs out, I can't kill the villain. Even if I can't kill him, I at least need that villain system to suffer a huge loss once. My demon incarnation is at the late nascent soul stage. I used to have zero control over this body, couldn't use its full power. The demon had just taken shape when I refined it. Its memory was totally blank. Except for its natural powers, it couldn't offer any experience. But after 2 days training under the tribulation, I'll say it's because of the heart demon incarnation that I fought demons and beasts undergoing tribulation. After countless battles, now I can control this body. And I figured out many tricks. Even more importantly, the demon incarnation can use Sword Child as well. My eyes flashed sharply. I flipped my hand and took out a spirit stone. Then I crushed it immediately. A booming roar erupted. The hidden reversed 5 elements slaughter array emerged. 5 beams of blue, red, white, black, and yellow shot up. They crashed and intertwined in midair, turning into a huge 5-colored whirlwind, trapping Nan Gongqi inside. Uh-oh, Nan Gongqi's face changed drastically. He was just starting to connect with the Dialuo Sword Summit. Right at the critical moment of unsealing, he never imagined an array would suddenly show up here. He reacted fast. As soon as the killing array appeared, a grand seal popped above his head. Cascading golden shields fell down, protecting his body and system. What is going on? Nan Gongqi's voice was shaking. Since arriving at Aurora City, besides using the moonlit liquor the first time to lure away my fiancé, grab some fortune, everything else has been unexpected. After system analysis, there are no living humans within 10 miles. This array system was still speaking when Nan Gongqi cut it off. No living people? Then what's that? Is it a ghost or something? In the darkness, I stepped out, carrying a celestial sword, the shadow demon incarnation's body. Its shape and aura totally hidden. No signs of life. No signs of life. So that's not a living person. Not human. The system's alarm kept blaring. He can see my shadow demon incarnation. But right now I'm just a shadow. Not a living being. No hint of human aura. No signs of life. Maybe it really is a ghost. I'm at the divine transformation stage. Plus I'm protected by the celestial spirit root. What ghost would dare possess me? Lan Gongqi's face looked twisted. His inner energy was going wild. The fountain behind him flared up even more. The grand seal on his head gleamed, getting brighter and brighter. Pure golden lotus wood wrapped him and the Daluo Sword Summit completely. This is top-tier defensive treasure, and the very one that made us enemies later. A harsh scraping sound came from the air. Sand from the reversed 5 elements array kept smashing into the golden seal. Sand and stones flew in the void. Terrifying shockwaves kept erupting. If this underground space wasn't created by the power of Daluo's Sword Summit, it would have collapsed long ago. I walked toward Nan Gongqi holding my sword. The scary forces swirling around passed through me, but couldn't hurt me a bit. Right now I'm just a shadow, shaped but with no substance, visible but unreachable. Just then, Nan Gongqi suddenly reached out and slapped at me. Divine transformation level power, all packed into that strike. Boom! That slap hit the wall behind me hard. The whole cave shook. It really is a ghost. Nan Gongqi's eyes went wide. He went all out with that strike. But it went right through my shadow, like there was nothing there. System detects no life signs. But that shadow is holding a celestial sword. Every word the system spoke. Nan Gongqi turned a shade paler.